Hey y'all, my name is Jacob Thomas. I am a United States Air Force veteran. Thank you. And I wore my favorite shirt today. So figured we could show that off. And thank you so much for having me. Like she said, I'm with Common Defense. I'm our communications director. We're the nation's largest grassroots organization of progressive veterans fighting for policy changes to help our communities and improve people's lives. Thank you. So business is booming right now. It's very busy. But I wanted to kind of briefly talk about what is happening with our VA, with veterans. And so we've got some other great speakers who are going to talk about their personal stories and how the VA has helped them. Luckily, I don't have any major stories with the VA. It's been smooth sailing up until this point. I've been using the VA for about 6 years after I got out of active duty. And I haven't had any issues. And that's part of what we want to keep making sure happens for all of our veterans across this country. Ensuring that the promises that we've made to our veterans after 20 years of war are actually followed through on, right? That we hold up to the mission and the values of what the VA is and ensure that we can continue to provide world-class care for our veterans. However, what the orange, unlike Erin Murphy, I probably will swear more than her. Unlike that fucker in the White House right now, who's getting Cheeto stains everywhere, who wants to cut 83,000 jobs from the VA, at least a quarter of which are veterans themselves, has given up on trying to hold any promises to veterans or the American people. The only promises he wants to hold are to Putin and to his billionaire buddies. But we're here to make sure that he knows and that everybody else in Minnesota and across this country knows that we will not back down, that we are fighting, because 83,000 jobs will decimate the VA. Veteran health care will suffer, and no matter how much, I know they don't really love facts in the White House, but I know here in Minnesota we do love some facts. And so the facts are, right, no matter how much he wants to say that they're just cutting bloat, they're just getting rid of some admin positions, it's not going to harm any care, it's not going to do anything. What we've already seen is that it has, right? In getting rid of probationary officers, in helping kind of gut these things, letting an unelected billionaire run around, slashing our federal government. We've already seen that hurt is happening and that it is real. We've seen spikes in suicide hotline calls from veterans. We've seen care being delayed already, right? And different other pieces where they've decided to roll back policy procedures that were helping rural veterans access telehealth care. And now they don't have that access. So if you live up on the range and you're supposed to come all the way down here to Minneapolis, to St. Paul to get your VA health care, right? How often do you think that an actual veteran, especially a disabled veteran, can actually get down and do that? Telehealth was a way that we could reach people wherever they were to ensure that they had the care that they needed and that they fought for, that they deserve, right? So no matter what he wants to say about how this isn't going to hurt anybody, it will, right? And I want you to think about this. Right, when we talk about 83,000 jobs, it's just going to be bloat. It's just going to be admin work. How many the percentage of people in the Air Force? I was an Air Force guy, 8 years. Wound up here in Minnesota because got stationed up in North Dakota. What's the percentage of Air Force pilots do you think that there are? How much of the actual Air Force are actual pilots? I'll give you a hint, it's really, really damn low. 4%. 4% of everybody in the Air Force is an actual pilot. The other 96% of those people are doing everything else that is required to make sure that a plane can get up into the sky and land safely, right? So if you're gonna say, oh, well, we're not cutting doctors, we're not cutting nurses, well, I could say we're not cutting pilots, we're still gonna have the great Air Force. Is that true? Hell no. Right? Is everybody that works at Target a cashier? Hell no. Right? If those stores aren't stocked and shelved and pallets taken off There's so much work that goes into ensuring that things are successful, that we can actually provide the care that we need or do the warfighting mission that our Air Force or our Marines or our Army and Navy are supposed to do. It's not just this one particular person, this one doctor, this one nurse. It's everybody that helps make sure that scheduling goes well, that your follow-up care is taken care of, that you actually know the benefits that you have access to, right? All of that. There are over 9 million people in this country who use some type of VA service, whether that's disability services or using VA as their health care. Those real people are the ones who are going to suffer because of Donald Trump's garbage, bullshit policies, right? They are the ones who are going to suffer. Our veterans, the people who served, who raised their right hand to say, this is what I am fighting for, and I believe in this country. That is who is going to be harmed in this. And it's not just about us, right? It's not just about veterans. It's about everything that we hold dear, right? The oath that I took and that the other people you're going to hear from today took didn't have an expiration date on it. It was to serve this country, to fight for this Constitution against enemies foreign and domestic. And this is what patriotism looks like. No matter what that wannabe dictator, that wannabe king wants to say, this is what patriotism looks like. This is what democracy looks like. We the people it wasn't we the people, it was we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, do establish and ordain this Constitution of the United States. Not we the unelected billionaire, not we the whiny, I want to be a king. No, we the people formed this country, and we will fight like hell for this country. And I am so glad to see each and every one of you here doing exactly that. So let's keep up the fight. 100 days strong. We've got a couple hundred more to go. But I believe in us, I believe in this country, and I believe that we are stronger and more powerful than anything that asshole up there can do. This is what we're fighting for. We've got some amazing speakers after me, and I just want to let you know too, with Common Defense, we are fighting across this country to do exactly this work. I'm so proud and honored to be here in Minnesota doing this work, and we're doing this all across the country. I'm actually flying out Sunday to DC to raise some hell and make sure we're bringing 100 veterans from across the country to talk to their lawmakers, to educate them on why the fuck they need to get their head out of their asses and start fighting back. Let's go. Thank you so much.